Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and welcome back to Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. Last time we were zipping across I guess we were running like a gondola or something like that from whatever high point we were at to the top of the Crooked Bone, and while the collector ran around doing whatever he was doing, which was very unclear, getting us from point A to point B, we were fighting off against mangled mice and these very dangerous moths here. Menacing moths. We'll go with that one. I love my alliteration. And I haven't edited this yet. I'm kind of just playing one after another because the next scenario we're going into is a boss fight. And I can't just leave a boss fight alone. I got to do it. I have to do it immediately. So I'm hoping that this went very well. I feel like we got super, super lucky with it. It also feels super hard because you have spawning enemies in here. You're going to kill 5 things in total with the cards that you have. And like, if you have a string of bad rolls, or of course, bad rolls including, the enemies doing really good, it could really mess you up. This is the only thing I don't like about this game is it can be extremely hard or extremely easy in any circumstance. And to get that like midpoint or whatever, I don't know. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But overall, I'm having a great time with this, and I hope you guys are as well. Before we go into scenario 14, I do just want to flip this over really quickly and tell you about the 2 items that we got from scenario 13. I thought I was going to bring one into this battle, but I decided against it. The first one that we got is the Shrunken Longbow. This is the one that I thought I was going to bring in here, but I actually decided against it, mainly because it's a 2-handed weapon. During your ranged attack, add 1 damage and 1 piercing to it. So you'll be able to pierce through enemies. It's an exhaust, so you just kind of get it back whenever you long rest. The other one we got is a Shrunken Long Sword. So we got the range, and now we have the melee, because this is during your melee attack, add 1 damage to that attack. Pretty good for a bruiser or whatever the... I guess the bruiser style is here or something like that. If you have a heavy melee character, that would be great. Because again, it's one-handed, which is awesome. And it just needs to exhaust in order to use it. As far as scenario 14 goes, we are level 4. And I'll tell you what we're going to collect all in a moment. But first, let's read about the boss, which is found in scenario 14, the Bouncer. The Bouncer, it turns out, is an animated cloth doll from the depths of your nightmares. It crashes down on the table next to the window, staring at you with dead button eyes. "He's all yours," squeaks the collector. Monsters. Stuffed construction, tattered construction. Special rules. When the stuffed construction is defeated, spawn the tattered construction in the hex it occupied. It acts in the same round it was spawned. Goal, defeat all monsters, which is really just the same monster twice. Yep, that is why I'm convinced this is a boss fight. You are only fighting 1 enemy, but you're technically fighting that 1 enemy twice. 2 phases. It's not even my final form. Going into this, we are level 4, so that means our Cragheart for this run is level 16, or no, is level 4 with 16 health on it. We are using the level 4 modifier, which if you saw the last episode was the first time we used this, and it helped out a lot. Like that self-heal is fantastic. A lot of +1s and +2s to it as well, so you have a lot of abilities there. It's just really, really good. I like, of course, level 5 being the best, but this, I'm glad that we have that, making things so much easier. And then, of course, with our cards that we're going to have in hand, we're allowed to upgrade 3 out of the 4, and I've decided that I will not be upgrading Dirt Tornado to Cataclysm because all of the other ones are just a little bit better for what we need. So take these out, and that means our hand is Lumbering Bash, Rocky End, Dirt Tornado, and Meteor. So we got 1 level 1 and 2 level 3s in order to fight this Bouncer. So let's go ahead and set this up. All right, we're all set up and ready to go. I am going to talk about the items that I brought in a moment, but let's talk about our enemy right here, the Stuffed Construction. This, of course, is the first and only time I believe we are fighting this thing within the game, and that's fine because it is nasty. Initiatives of 10, 45, and 70, so it is fairly quick. It probably will go faster than us most of the time, but at least with the 10, it puts some ice into the field. It does have an additional shield of 2 when it does that. It doesn't attack, but it will buff itself. But the thing with the Stuffed Construction is if it rolls that 10, it also wounds itself. The only way a character gets rid of a wound is by healing, and this thing has no way of healing it. So as soon as it's wounded, and remember what the wound does is it suffers 1 damage at the start of each turn, only removed when healed. So that means as soon as it rolls a 10, it's going to start ticking down its health after every turn. Now, you can't wait this thing out for it to do that at all. You have to fight back as fast as you can because there is a second part to this, and I'm going to go over that when we defeat this guy. At the 45, he moves 2, does 4 damage, and basically bear punches you, knocking you back up to 2 spaces. And then at the 70, which is his highest, he moves 2 spaces. He attacks 3, and I believe that, guys, you gotta let me know this. I'm pretty sure that attack of 3 right there is just a standard melee attack. But then he has a ranged ability afterwards that will immobilize me. So it's not like connected to each other. I feel like I've seen other cards and everything where those abilities are like all in one. So it's like a ranged attack plus that type of effect to it. This is moves 2, does 3 attack, and regardless of anything, if it hits me or not, it'll then do a 3 range strike that will immobilize me. So I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like that attack 3 isn't a range 3, but we're going to go with that. It does have, plus, trust me, this thing is strong enough as it is. 12 health, 3 innate shield, by the way. So that's why I'm taking some stuff that pierces. And then it's immune to disarm and it's immune to immobilize. So you can't even knock that out. But poisoning it, that's not a bad idea either. So I take back what I said about the construct. I just decided to look up some of the enemies to see if I was crazy. I am, of course. That's just how it works. No, that 70 initiative for the construct is a range 3 hit attack that will immobilize me. Fantastic. And because of that, plus stuff that's coming up a little later, I have decided to take the drop of clear water with me. I love this item. Great item. Highly recommend it for everybody, especially if you have the ability to produce ice or air. This guy puts ice into the room, so that in its own right is perfect. So I'm allowed to remove 1 negative condition if I absorb ice or water, which is great. The other item I am taking, because I'm allowed 2 because I am level 4, is Robin's Feather Arrow. During your single target ranged attack, absorb fire or air, which I do have air, in order to add 1 range and 1 pierce to my ranged attack. So I have a few different ranged attacks here, which is great. I have air that can put out into the field, which is awesome. Anything that gets through this thing's defenses is more than welcome in this situation. So I was thinking about the longbow, but I'd rather have these 2 in my hand rather than just 1 item. The Rose Thorn Knife, which is during my attack, any attack at all, I absorb ice or earth, which is great because I produce earth and it's producing ice, to add 1 pierce to my attack. So I knock out 1 of its shields, which is awesome. And then I also have the Coin Shield, which is during an enemy's attack, I exhaust this in order to gain 2 shield. It's the only one out of what I have to exhaust, so I have to just keep in mind of what elements are on the field and then use them to my advantage to get the most out of not only the cards that I'm playing, but also, pierce this thing's defense. So with that said, let's go ahead and give ourselves our starting position. Our Cragheart starts right here, staring down the belly of the beast, I guess. This cube represents our stuffed construction, and it's showtime, people. Boss fight, go. And my opening move that I'm actually going to do is Rocky End and Dirt Tornado. Now, my initiative is going to be 37, obviously, so we'll flip that way just so we know it. The one thing that I keep doing with every one of my games is I play my cards first before I roll the initiatives of the enemy. I'm pretty sure that's what's supposed to happen. That's what happens in the main game as well. But there are times when I've rolled first and then I've played my card. So I honestly don't think it matters one way or another, but I just wanted to kind of point that out in case anybody else was looking at it. Now then, what I will be doing is I'll be using the bottom part of Dirt Tornado. Not sure if I want to move 3 or 2. Either way, I think it works. And then we're going to use Rocky End, which I can target 1 enemy. Good thing I only have 1. Within 3 hexes, which is no problem, doing 3 damage. And it would add 1 for each obstacle adjacent to you or the target. So as long as I am next to, I can actually get myself to a point where I'm next to 2 obstacles, making that a 5, which would be fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and see what our initial initiative here, yeah. Circle, which is right where we are right now, so that is 45. We will be going before the stuffed construct. No elements are within the field, so we don't have to worry about adding or removing anything right now. We're actually just going to move 2, 1, 2 up here. I am within 1, 2, 3 exactly away from it. So that's going to do 3 damage, and because I am next to 2 obstacles, I'm going to do an additional 2 to it as well. So this is going to be a 5 hit plus, well, we're hoping for plus, because remember, this thing has a 3 hit defense. So circle, which is a 0, so it's just straight 5 hits. And 5 minus 3 is 2, so we bring it down to 2. I mean, that's not a great first round, but it is what it is. This thing at least will just move 2 and won't do anything else, because it would need to be in melee position for me to do anything. 1, 2, right here, ready to go. Now, the good thing is that if I can get it here and push it into the spikes, then I'll be able to do a bunch of damage. So I kind of want it to come up to me, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so we'll move this down 1 so I know for next time. Let's flip these over and determine our next course of action. All right, I'm going to be putting myself into a hurt position right here. Oh, we'll flip these over again because I like having my initiative to the left. But it's the best thing I can think of right now in order to do my best to get as much damage on this thing as possible. We have Lumbering Bash and Meteor right here. It will put Earth into the field, so we got that going for us. So I can absorb the Earth in order to add a Pierce to this. I would get 1 movement from Meteor, which would add 1 to my attacks, so that's really good. Making this a 6, hopefully plus a bunch more, and then of course he gets -1. You have to do these in order from top to bottom, so as much as I would love to hit and run, I can't do that. I would need to move and then hit. Based on where I am, I'm going to be right next to him regardless, so yeah, that's what's going to happen. All right, let's give him his initiative of 70. Okay, so no matter what, he's going to hit me. I am right next to him. Maybe that's with advantage then, because technically speaking, he is doing a ranged attack on me. So if I am right next to him, he has to roll at disadvantage, right? Isn't that how that works? Now, granted, I'm going to be immobile regardless, but that's something we have to consider. So I'm going to say that's how that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We are going to take our first step forward right here. I really wish that he was more closer to me, so this way I can push him into the spikes, but that's all right. We're going to just leave this right there because I want to try to hit him as hard as I can. So we have 1 plus 5 is 6. Don't roll a minus. Oh, and before I roll, just remember that I am using this to add a piercing to it as well. So it'll help out a lot. So come on, anything but a minus. Anything but a minus. Anything but a minus is a circle. That's +1. Okay. Okay, he has a defense of 3, so now he has a defense of 2. I did 5, 6, 7 minus, so he is at 5. All right, so that was 5 damage. Ooh, there we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the type of heavy hitting you need to do. Unfortunately, he's coming at me now. All right, so he is in melee range for me, so this is going to roll at disadvantage. Let's see what we do. He's doing 3 damage, regardless. I'm immobile, unfortunately. So that is a circle, and we roll again. Wow, all right, minus. So that is a -1 to the attack, so he's doing 2 damage to me. Now, granted, I am immobile, so that's just kind of how that works, but I am going to go ahead and flip my coin shield right now in order to absorb that 2 damage. So, cling clang off the shield. I unfortunately cannot move, so I got to figure out what I want to do for my next turn right up in this guy's face. Both of these flip on over to their other sides. This actually moves down 1, and the enemies move down 1 too, so I'll do that off camera. Okay, so we got a few choices right here. Unfortunately, I'm playing 2 very high initiatives, so no matter what, he's going to go before me. 75 and 78. His highest, I should say, is a 70. The way that I'm looking at this is that if I am stuck next to him, like he doesn't do anything except for stay right where he is and like hit me, then I have some melee options. Avalanche is a melee option, and then Sentient Growth is actually a melee option as well, because it's a heal, and then it'll do a 2 damage. Plus, I'm at the point right now where I can heal myself anyway, so after he hits me, I'll be fine. If he does an initiative of 45, he will get a push on me, in which case then I can do the top part here, which is a range 3 and 2 attack, and then the bottom part here is a range 1 and a 2 push, and if the target is adjacent to an obstacle, it suffers 2 damage. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that and push it away from me, and then I should push it next to something, and then do an additional damage. So I'm pretty confident either way I'm going to hit it. Honestly, I want this thing to roll as minus just so it can start hurting itself, but that's, of course, more, what is it, more shield that I got to deal with. Nope, it's a circle. Ah, man, it's exactly, all right, well, he's pushing me. Isn't that fun? All right, so let's keep in mind we have air and earth in the field. He is going at initiative 45, so it's a movement of 2. He's not going anywhere, but he is hitting me for 4, and then he's going to push me 2 away from him. All right, so he attacks with another minus. Okay, so it's -1, but that is 3. Man, this thing is hard. Ow, 3. I have nothing to defend. Thank goodness I have all of the things that are healing me. So we'll go down to 13 right there, and then he's pushing me 2, so... boom. I guess it would be the full push away, just like that. Either way, I think, well, I'm immobile, which is, well, no, I can actually clear that immobile. Yes, no, we're fine. Or I can use the air in order, well, no, either way, I think I have to clear my immobile status in order to get to him. So let's do that. So let's spend our air in order to clear out our immobility, and then we can do the top part and the bottom part, but I'm going to do the bottom part of sentient growth first. Okay, 1, 2, we're right next to him, so that's the first part. Second part is healing for 1, so we are back at 14. Then we are going to go ahead and do an attack of 2. He does have his guard of 3, so really on a plus. That's about the only way we're going to hit him is with a plus, and we do! Okay, sweet. So that 1 damage, but you know what? 1 damage, 1 is better than none, I say, and that is fine by me. All right, so we heal ourselves one more time. We are at 15, almost back to full health, down to 4, which is good. And now we can do avalanche because we're in that spot. I'm going to actually absorb the earth that's in here as well to add a damage to it. We'll move this down 1. So we do have a chance of completely missing, which is going to be really bad in this situation, but at the very least, we should do some decent damage. I also moved the marker down 1 for the stuffed construction right there. So he's where he should be. I am where I am, and we are rolling a circle, which is a +1. All right, so at least we hit. Hitting is really the main point right now. That's 3, +1 is 4, +1 is 5, -3 because of his shield. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. I could have, I guess I could have, no, it didn't. I added an attack to this. So yeah, 1, 2. I was thinking about like, should I have spent that earth in order to add a piercing, but it would have actually turned out the exact same way anyway. All right, both of these are in my discard pile right now. We're actually reaching the end of our cards because I only have 2 left right here. And once again, it's going to go before me. So whatever I have is what I have, so let's see where it goes in the initiative order. This also goes down 1 as well, by the way. I would need to get away from it so I can push it away from me. I'm not immobile anymore, and I don't think I'm going to be. I don't have anything to, like, you know, get that off of me, but come on, give me some. All right, it's a minus. All right, so what's going to happen here with this guy is he is going to go before me regardless of anything. He's going to put ice into the room, which is fine. I don't really have anything to absorb with ice. I guess I can add a piercing to it, but now he has a defense of 5. In addition to that, he is wounded, so he will be taking a damage at the beginning of his turn, and he is strengthened, which means that his next attack on me is roll 2, take the better, which could be very, very dangerous. All right, so what we're going to do here then is we're going to use the bottom part of Dig Pit. I usually use the I guess I could just go invisible anyway, so I still get my move. So let's do that. Let's go invisible. Invisibility, I think, just stays on me until the beginning of my next turn. He can't target me. And I'll move 2. So I'm going to move 2 backwards to give myself some range. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll use the top part here, which is 1, 2. Yep, okay, that's good. I am within range, which is good. Actually, I'm going to move right here. I'm only going to move 1. So I make sure I'm right there. I can do a 4 attack on him, plus anything else. So with his defense right now, it's 5. God, I mean, I really just need to roll a circle, because a circle will give me only +1. So then with that, minus his current defense of 5 will put him at 1, which means that in the beginning of his turn, he will take 1 damage, and that'll be the end of phase 1. Oh, it bounces off the side. Oh, we get a plus. Oh my God, we get a ×2, which would generally be great otherwise, but in all honesty, it just ends the phase right now. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. We defeated the stuff construct. We did a massive amount of damage right now. The thing is just blown apart, stuffing everywhere, blah, 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 blah. But then this thing decides that it's going to wiggle and squiggle and out comes the Tattered construct. Oh, so this is our new guy. All of these are gone, so we'd consider this a brand new enemy. It has a max health of 16. Oh my goodness. Defense of 1, also immune to disarm and immobile. Initiatives of 4, 76, and 95, which is ridiculous. Rolling a 4 will put air into the field. We love that. Moves 2, but then puts up a range 4 of 3 retaliate. So no matter what I do to it, it will hit me back hard. 76 right here is a range 5, oh God, 3 damage attack that will disarm me, which means I have no means of attacking it on my turn unless I can get rid of that status. Great, I go before it, but man, that's terrible. It will then wound itself. And then finally, a 95 is a movement of 3, getting right up in my grill, hitting me for 4, and then it's going to strengthen itself. So this thing is nasty, and it goes right now because that's just what the rules say. So all it's going to do is it's going to move up here, and it's going to put the air into the field, and that's going to be the end of its turn because it initially activates as soon as it's revealed. That is the end of this turn. I am also, well, I don't even think it would move because it's not targeting me at all because I am currently invisible. We now are going to get out of here and go into a long rest phase. All right, so we are on our next turn here. This actually goes down 1 as well. I'm doing an initiative of 99, so I'm going to go into long rest. So we get this back. I do have to pick one of these in order to toss. We get our coin shield back as well, so that's good. All of our drops and our fun stuff is there, ready to go. Heal ourselves back up to 16. Now, I know that I'm going now. Technically, I need to roll for our Tattered construct. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's important that I do this because he could either get a bad element on him or a good element on him of sorts, depending on what he rolls. And he rolls a minus, so really nothing happens. Yes, air would go into the field, but nothing else would trigger on that. Man, you get all those speedy things out of you now, sir. I'm actually going to get rid of Meteor. I thought about it. I wanted to get rid of Dirt Tornado because of my level 1, but Dirt Tornado actually produces air for me, and I need air right now in order to be able to do something. So the Meteor and the Blind Destruction, 2 very, very good cards. I have to get rid of because of the long rest. But with that said, now we are in our next round. So let's see how much damage we can do to this thing. And for that, I am going to be playing Rocky End and Dirt Tornado with an initiative of 37. Again, the only way that it's going to get higher than me is by rolling a minus, which of course we're going to do now probably. Got a lot of different options here. Specifically, I just kind of want to move 2 and then use this ability in order to hit it. I don't have any elements in the field right now, but we'll see what we can do. All right, what's its initiative? Plus, all right, 95. So it is way, way up here right now. We are definitely going before it. It's going to move up to me. It's going to attack for 4, and then it's going to boon itself with a strengthen, which means the next attack it does, it gets an advantage. Wish it wounded itself, but that's okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and just take the 2 movement and move back 1. That is, what is that? Dangerous terrain, some type of like terrain modifier. I can't remember it off the top of my head for some reason. And we're going to move on to there. It takes 2 into a difficult terrain. Thank you out there who's probably yelling it. Taking 2 to move on up here onto difficult terrain just to get a little bit away from it. Now, we're going to go at that's Dirt Tornado. Rocky's End is I would target 1 enemy within 3 hexes of me. So 1, 2, 3. He is within 3 hexes of me. Adding 1 for each obstacle you or the target. Each obstacle adjacent to you or the target. I have 1, 2 next to me, and 1 next to it. That is not an object, I believe. I believe that is just a trap, so it doesn't count as it. Just like difficult terrain is not an object as well. So this is a 3 attack plus 3 for 6, plus hopefully I get a good modifier. And of course, I don't have anything in hand right now to give me piercing, but hey, this is 6 damage The +1, so 7, which is fine because that 1 damage, that extra damage, I should say, tings away at its, it's softer now because the inner side has been revealed. So boom that, so we knock 6 damage off this thing, down to 10, making our way there pretty easily, but here it comes. Oh boy, 1, 2, right next to me it goes. It's now gonna attack me for 4. Yes, it could completely miss me, or it could do a massive amount of damage. Nope, it just does the, well, 4 damage to me is still 4 damage. I forgot that I am no longer invisible, so that comes away. Let's go ahead and ting it off of our coin shield right here to reduce that by 2, because why not at this point? And we go down from 16 to 14. 2 damage, and that is it. That is the end of this round. That's terrifying. Flip these over to side B, and what do we play next? Let's do some massive damage to this thing. Lumbering Bash and Avalanche. Honestly, there's actually a thing as well that I always keep forgetting, is that you don't have to just play these cards for the element to be in the field. I always forget that so long as the element is showing even in my hands, it's on the field. So really, I could have been using air and earth significantly more through this than what I was. But regardless of anything, we do have some air. We technically have 2 earth on the field because in my hand, my sentient growth is still showing earth. So that's kind of where the advantage also comes with using elements, and that's knowing how many are actually in the field at any given time. Now, with that said, we roll a, well, we're still higher than it. Its highest is a 7, or I'm sorry, its highest is a 95, but then 76 is its next one, so we still beat it regardless. Of course, it's going to roll a minus and retaliate on me every given chance it can get. Oh, nope, it's a plus. It stays right there. Now, okay, so we have to kill it, or at least get very, very close to killing it, because otherwise it's going to mess me up. I forgot to put this on it next turn, or this turn, I should say. So next time it actually attacks me, which if it gets its turn, it will. It'll do 4 damage. What is that? With advantage, so it's going to roll twice, take the most. So it'll do 4 or 5 damage to me, as you would think something like this should. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, because it is our turn, we do beat it out with the 75, beat it out with the 85 too, is we're just going to do the Lumbering Bash first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to absorb one of the 2 earth within the room to reduce its shield by 1. So now whatever I do to it here is going to go right directly to its HP. All right, so that's 5. And +2, 7. Yes, yeah, take that, you stuffed monkey. Or bear, or whatever creature you are, whatever you want to call yourself, doesn't matter. So flipping that over, we do 7 points to it, going down to 3. Now what I'm going to do is kill it. So this right here has a range of 1. Everything adjacent to me is a range of 1 because that's just how counting works. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna push this thing twice. It's not immune to push. So we're gonna go 1, 2, we do exactly what I wanted to do. Throw it right into the trap right here, doing 2 damage, and then if the target is adjacent to an obstacle, it suffers another 2 damage. Both of these ignore its defense because these are automatic damage modifiers. So we kick this thing in the face, right into the spikes and into an apple, and it blows up in an explosion of fluff and fur and whatever, teeth and God, whatever else this thing happens to be. The cloth doll finally falls, end over end, off the table. Look, the collector exclaims, pointing. It's hail! Right in front of you stands a normal-sized Aster, clearly engrossed in her studies. Now it is just a matter of getting her attention. If you're a Spellweaver, play Scenario 16, Signal Flare. All other adventurers, play Scenario 15, Ring the Bell. You may want to think about doing some upgrades to this thing, Hail, when you re-sew it back together, but man, do I love a good boss fight, especially when things go your way. Yeah, so there we go. Obviously, this could have been a lot worse depending on what things were rolled. I was very much expecting a minus at some point while I was trying to beat it down from afar, and it would just retaliate every chance it could get against me. So as you can see, things can, it's all the dice roll. The magic of the power of the dice within this game could either make an encounter super easy and like, it was challenging, but it was also like, you know, I'm fighting a teddy bear for Pete's sake, you know. Or this thing could have been like a demonic toy of sorts and like invulnerable to all attacks, coming at me, clawing at me, maybe part of Krampus's crew. I don't know, but you know, I've seen some pretty nasty teddy bears in my time through my movie history and everything. But regardless of all of that, we have finished Scenario 14, the Bouncer, which is going to be fought by every single character. We got 2 new items for that as well. First, let's look at the Ember Nettle. After an enemy attacks, you absorb fire or earth to add wound to that enemy. Now, we have one that does poison, which is great, which means they will always take a damage every time, or you do +1 damage every time you attack, and it prevents healing. Wound, I think, is better because you wound them and then at the beginning of their turn, they just take a damage. And the only way it goes away is by healing. Both of these guys had the ability to lose a lot of health through wounds, but we never actually saw it. But you can tell that it could be a big help, especially in these later levels. We're gonna be coming across some really nasty things. We also have the Lucky Cat's Eye Marble. During your attack, treat your minus attack modifier as a circle attack modifier. Of course, that is fantastic because that avoids totally missing or super damage reductions or anything along that way. So very, very, very helpful item. We are still going to be in level 4 once we go to the next scenario. So we're still only able to carry 2 items into it with us. But as soon as we hit level 5, which is the max level, we can take 3, and that Cat's Eye Marble is definitely a good one to bring with us for sure. But there you have it, everybody. Gloomhaven, Buttons and Bugs, Scenario 14, the Bouncer. A super strong bear that has 2 phases to them that can really, really, really knock some sense into you if you are not a strong-hearted and solid as a rock Cragheart. But then again, I'm sure any one of these classes would do the same. So for you out there, if you have gotten this far in your Gloomhaven game and you are a different class and everything, let me know how your adventures went with this. What did you do in order to overcome this thing? This is literally the first time I have played this. I just went from one to the other right now because I can't let a boss fight go away. I need to fight it. I need to see it because they're just so cool. And this is also worked a little bit faster than the last one. So let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section below. Let me know about your experiences going up against the Bouncer here in Gloomhaven, Buttons and Bugs, and then of course your overall opinions of the game itself. This is of course an earlier version of it. If you are new to this game, you can head down to links down in the description below in order to be able to pick one of these up for yourself. Keep in mind that these dials and a few other things have changed their coloring significantly in the later printings. They're much brighter and much easier to read than the dullness that is here. So I really just want to point that out. The later printings of this, which are available now, are way, way better. You also do not get your elemental tokens. I know I've been using these quite a bit. I have them for pretty much all of them. I'm taking them from Jaws of the Lion. I have a light one. Where are you? You're over here. I took these tokens from Jaws of the Lion. So these are what I'm using to represent any of the elements within the room as I am playing. I probably should just try to finish this up as fast as possible because there's only 5 more scenarios left after this. And I'm remembering rules as I'm playing them, which could ultimately help out regardless of anything. In any case, thank you all once again. Let me know again everything you thought down in the comment section below. And of course, if you don't want to miss any future Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs action as we continue our way through our story, very, very close to the end, or any other fun thing I put out for you to enjoy, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, as I mentioned, you can always pick up Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs from one of my affiliate links down in the comment section below through Amazon or through Noble Knight Games. Thank you so much to them for their help in sponsorships and everything. Affiliate links go a long way to helping the channel grow. You have Patreon memberships and YouTube members as well, which get these videos early, probably back to back at this point, which is awesome. And then any other future advantages with like contests or things along that ways. Regardless of all that, your view, your like, your share, commenting on this video, subscribing to the channel, really that is the best way and the way that I love the most for anybody that really wants to help my channel, watch Home Gamer Dad grow, and be part of our ever-expanding family. Thank you once again. I am just very excited and thrilled that we were able to take this thing down fairly easy. Sure, that's not going to happen next time. So, until then, you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.